Hi everyone, it's Debbie again with their lesson in water aerobics. When I get in the pool, we start easily and we actually do a warm-up and just walk in the water, swinging arms back and forth to counter pressure the water. And we'll do that for about 10 minutes before class starts. We also do squats as if you're sitting in a chair. You push your butt back and try to keep your back straight. My fear of falling affects that, and I'm always like, but I don't have to fear falling in the water, which is why I enjoy water aerobics. But do like 10 or 15 squats, and it's so much easier in the water because you don't have the weight of your body affecting you. Okay, and as part of our warm-up, we also will, and there's like 30 of us in the pool, and we'll do waist twist, leaving your feet positioned, staying still because your feet aren't turning, and you're turning at your waist, and I feel a little bit in my knees, which I shouldn't. So mostly turning your waist, swing your arms, and we do this for about 5 minutes, gradually swinging, and push it further so you feel the twist in your abdomen. Just push, and when you get to the fullest point, hold it for a few seconds, and then go back and hold that stretch for a few seconds. We'll do loosening up stretches, stretching all these muscles. And our warm-up usually takes a combined total of maybe about 15 minutes. Another stretch is reach across the body and pull it with the opposite arm. Stretches out your shoulder muscles and your back. Okay. Sorry, I'm checking my notes. Okay, and then when we start to get working, I'll be honest with you, I like to count, or we've all grown up with the Jane Fonda workout videos. Do it 20 times, do it 15 times. As a head injury, I lose track of what I've done, what number I'm on. I find it easy to sing the ABCs because I know the ABCs. And if I sing it at about 2 minutes at a slow pace, for me, that's about 1 minute of exercise. So now getting into our exercise routine, after the warm-up, we're say 15 minutes into the class. And today's warm-up or today's exercise is a pool noodle. And I apologize because this part of my pool noodle is a part of a vacuum extension because I have used my pool noodle to give me a handle on my lawnmower because I used to get blisters on my fingers. I do an electric mower because I can't pull start it anymore. And like the steadiness, it's like walking with a walker, and I can be helpful around the house. So I am the family lawnmower, but I had to put this on the handle to make it more comfortable. Okay, so now for our exercises, let me make sure. Okay, we're in mid-level water, and you get your pool noodle, and I'm sorry you can't see my feet, but I'll describe it adequately. You step both feet on the noodle, and as your balance allows, try to lift your feet and balance on the noodle. You can lift them only 4 inches off the ground. And just raise up and put back down, raise up, put back down, raise up, put back down, raise up. Try to go as slow as possible because the slowness holds the tension in the muscles. So, okay. Sorry, I saw a car driving now. Okay. And do 5 minutes or so of that, until you get bored with it. Another one is Stairmaster with the noodle. And if you've got a long enough noodle, lift one leg, then the other leg, one leg, then the other leg, pushing the noodle down underwater, one leg, then the other leg. Okay. One of the other, after about, I typically go or guesstimate around 2 to 5 minutes on each exercise. And that one, it's if you find your balance is hard, do it close to the edge of the pool, and you can put one hand on the side of the pool and modify the steps as you need to. Okay, one of the other noodle exercises we do is with the noodle out, put one foot on the noodle and, oops, I broke my noodle. And sorry, as head injuries, we make do with what we've got. And I know everyone out there knows that. You make it your own. But push the noodle out. It's too short for me. Hold the noodle in, push it out. Pull it in, push it out. And you're doing this under the water, and it increases the resistance. So you're working all the quads in your calf muscles, your thighs. Okay, and another one, with or without the noodle, do a lunge and stretch your legs out and hold that lunge, because like I'm feeling it in the back leg. And then switch. Sorry, I'm unsteady. And stretch. Okay. Change my sheet, sorry. Okay, another one, and this will be hard for me to show with the short noodle, but with the straight leg, with the noodle under your toe, raise your leg up, pull it down, raise your leg up, holding it in the noodle, and that pulls the muscles inside the, I don't know what this area is called.
In your thigh area.
I didn't know if it had a specific muscle.
Yeah, but it's like it's your quadricep, but
isn't your quads on the outside?
But they do wrap around.
Okay. I tell the muscles because my water instructor tells me, but the whole classes were doing it. And I remember of it. Okay, now we're on the upper body. And with the noodle in the water, and you want to hold your noodle out, hold it about 18 inches apart with your hands on the top. Push the noodle about 2 inches under the water surface. So you're pushing the resistance. Push out, in, out, in, out, in. Do about 15 of those. And then raise the noodle up. Push down to your knees. Up, down, up. And you're working both sides of the arms and the shoulders here, which we tend to tighten up a lot. And especially anybody in today's society, because you all know we're all doing this all day long.
Yeah.
And that the forward curled motion. So you need to sit up and pull those shoulders back, shoulders over your hips, over your ankles, over your feet, chin up, back. My swim instructor always says, I see turtles. And she's talking about us doing this with our heads. She says, move those chins back,
Yep.
up. So fight the turtles.
Many of us with brain injury, we also have neck injuries. So it is important to practice keeping your head as straight as possible because craniocervical headaches are common if you don't keep your head straight. So being down like this is bad for your neck and your head and leads to headaches and other pains. A lot of us get then headaches here and here and think that that's because of, but no, that's because your neck is messed up and you need to keep your head straight.
Last week, my land aerobics instructor was the same one that is my water instructor.
Mhm.
And she has a grandmother who suffered sepsis.
Yes.
So she put me on that issue because I've had a TBI and then sepsis 30 years later.
1 out of every 3 TBI survivors will get sepsis.
Really?
Yes.
After the, is there a contributing factor? What?
Yes, because as I've talked to somebody yesterday, because our immune system has connections with the hypothalamus and the pituitary, and our immune system can be suppressed because of brain injury, and also our anxieties and other things, but also because the way our immune system functions makes us more vulnerable to infections. And so we are more inclined to end up getting it. Also, because our blood-brain barrier is usually damaged with a traumatic brain injury, we are more likely to have infection in our brain. So,
because to the date, we still don't know exactly how I got sepsis. I do work, or I did work in healthcare.
Any infection, UTI, upper respiratory, regular old, ear infections, other things, just regular old infection can lead to that because your immune response is not, your immune system is keyed up more than it should be. And sepsis is a result of a hyperreactive immune dysfunction. And I have a video where I talk about sepsis. And so a keyed up immune system can cause a septic reaction. Sepsis is, and the side effects from it, hallucinations and all kinds of other fun things as a result of about 1 in 3 TBI survivors end up with sepsis and the brain injury from that. And COVID now is adding to the joys of 1 in 4 COVID survivors will have brain damage from COVID. 1 in 4.
Well, I worked in childcare when I got sepsis.
Yeah, that's a risk factor.
But that's basically a germ-filled environment anyway.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You probably were exposed to something. There is something minor respiratory, but because of the changes to your immune system after your brain injury, you were much more vulnerable and likely to get it. And that's where you got your second brain injury from. The sepsis, brain injury, and then if you get COVID or other things, a 1 in 4 chance. And every time we get a brain injury, we are more likely to get more after that.
Okay. I was at a child's birthday party that I did childcare for, and the other adults were saying, you had complained about not feeling right, and I'm not the person to really complain about things, and if I jokingly complain about them.
Right.
But
you're not the sort. You're pretty robust and healthy as far as like, I mean, you're a very healthy individual. I mean, the fact you're doing this, it reflects that. I mean, you are a person who exercises, you swim like I do, and you do these things. But this is one of those vulnerabilities we have as brain injury survivors. And it's like you spin. Yeah.
They found me on my bedroom floor later that evening and couldn't get me to respond or come.
Yep.
So I was ambulanced up the street. 4 hours later, I flighted to a big hospital.
Right. And you, like I said, fortunately, you're a healthy person. So, and this is how, one of the ways you resisted some of the more serious complications is because you take your health. And I appreciate you helping in this way. This makes a difference.
Okay, I'm sorry for the sidetrack.
That's all right. Nope, that's important to talk about that. This is an important topic. Okay, so.
That's one of our ongoing jokes about the TBI world.
Yep.
Oh, wait, what were we talking about?
Yeah,
Okay.
I know. We both do that. Every brain injury survivor I know gets sidetracked pretty easily. I do
The
all the time.
best friends in the water because it's lacking balance. And if you're not as comfortable in the water, even this size noodle, what it's probably about 1.5 inches across the diameter. And you can get bigger noodles that offer more flotation. This one's easy because I can hold on to it. I've got little bitty hands, and holding the big ones hurts my hands after a couple of pushes.
Mhm.
But with the noodle, you can float out on your tummy, holding the noodle so your head doesn't go underwater, and flutter kick. You can butterfly kick, which involves different muscles in the thigh. By the way, these are my legs at the moment.
Right.
So it's like thigh muscles and inner thighs. I don't know if those are different muscle, but because you're pulling your legs in and out. But basically, any movement in the water is exercise. You can do it slow as you feel comfortable. As you get more comfortable, work it up to a higher where you're getting yourself a little out of breath.
Yeah.
You know, because the aerobic exercise. And we've even done it in the class, and I'm up in the water. I can do it at a higher level. And we'll get up in my Fitbit will tell me I'm up in the cardio exercise mode.
Right.
Which is, I've had lots of heart issues with the sepsis as well.
Mhm.
But do your warm-ups, your stretches to warm up, walking the pool 15 or so minutes before you start. Then, and like with one of the other exercises with the noodle, and preferably the longer normal noodle, hold it up and reach and stretch. And you can also cycle it in front of you. Cycle it, you know, because that stretches the back muscles and pulls you out. And also twist the waist and helps with a little bit of weight loss, aerobic activity. When class is done, I think 3 days a week, I have a class immediately after. So I have to get out of the pool and shower and change. But the other 2 days, I have a break in between. So I'll continue to walk the pool. And we're in, I want to say like an Olympic sized pool, probably not a big pool. So I can walk the laps, and it's the same chest, neck area depth of water. And I'm sure 5 foot water is up to here on me.
Mhm.
But just keep it moving, keep your arms moving, waist twisting, legs flutter kicking.
What do you recommend for like cool down then? You know, like
Yeah, the cool down, like I was saying, the lunges where I stretch my legs, the slower movements, lunge stretch, head to stretch, just a slower down movement of many of the aerobic exercises can be modified at a slower pace. Stretching pulls out all the tight muscles that you may experience from working out. But just stretch and get your breathing back down to a normal level. Walk the pool again. You can walk at a slower pace and swing the arms and just in through the nose, out through the mouth.
A lot of the stuff we're doing right now can be used obviously on land too.
Yeah.
Especially for people who are in wheelchairs or who have like extreme balance problems or extreme dizziness and stuff. The water's great, but some people don't have access to that. So they can do stuff like we're doing right now, talking about right now.
Sit there in an open room and twist, stretch.
Arms out, and it's like you can even move if you're able to move your legs. So you can move, move your legs, you can move your neck, neck rolls.
A lot of us head injuries have the one side dominant,
Yeah.
and it's my left side. And I've even noticed when I'm working out in the mirrored rooms, the mirrored aerobic rooms, when I hands up, this one about 6 inches lower, just because that's its stop point. I can lift it, but I have to conscientiously think, push it up there.
Right.
But
for me, it's my left hand.
I like the noodle because I do have good grip with that arm. And basically, I'm pulling it with the other arm, which exercises the weaker side. And you'll find as you do it more and more, you're not dragging the other arm behind, but it's helping a little bit. And that's sign muscles.
At home, you can use like a vacuum cleaner hose, or you can use like
a broomstick, but just watch your surroundings.
Yeah, yep, or your garden hose if you have it. Again, watch out for what's around you. All kinds of stuff at home. I mean, you can probably use like a round pillow if you have one, or like a rolled up blanket or a towel. Roll that up.
Got kids, a stuffed animal.
Yeah.
Hold the both hands. Hold it, push it up high over your head.
Exactly.
Rainbow.
And
you can do anything for exercise.
There are a lot of inflatable things you can use. It's like have somebody else blow it up because that's enough aerobic exercise. Oh, good heavens. But like there are things you could do, even yourself with your own pool, or do like sitting like we are right now. I mean, these are good to do these land exercises like we're doing here, just because many of them could be translated between the water and land. And hopefully we'll be able to do a couple of these if you're okay with that. Like we're right now. Do a few of these and do a bunch of these in the water where we actually do like a routine, like do like a full 5-minute warm up, do stretches, do, some of these so people can go along with us. But it's important to discuss it, to see some of these. But a lot of what we're talking about here are excellent to see how they're done, maybe come up with your own program, because, they're stretch first to start and then start doing some of the aerobic stuff. But I would advise you check with your doctor to make sure that, you should be doing aerobic stuff. Don't be, standing too much if you have balance problems. This is where doing the pool is important. What do you think, Debbie?
As you said, aerobic, that triggered a light and made me think, oh, another exercise.
Okay.
In the water, one of my instructors does kind of a jogging, and it's odd because I can jog in the water. Can't do it on the land because I can't mentally think how to lift one foot, and I can do it, but I do it slowly.
Right.
But she out, in, out, in, and legs wider,
right.
Stretch, but we jog wide, narrow, wide, narrow, wide, narrow.
Well,
and then the heart rate up, and it involves a few muscles that need stretching.
Well, you can probably step in place too. You don't have to go for it. You can like march in place too, right?
And it's also really good to raise the knee up as high as possible that you feel comfortable balance-wise.
And this is water kind of, that would be more of a water thing, but it's like, or like in the water, ride your bicycle, or just like that. And, you know, it's like these are things as long as you're careful and as long as you know your balance is good enough. I mean, Debbie's, you've been doing this for a long time, so you've got a little more, you know, a little more experience. Heck, that's why you're our instructor here for this. But it's like, if you don't have the experience, make sure you're safe. Maybe make sure you have a spotter. Again, it's like it's one thing if you're teaching this, but if you're really new to this or don't, you know, like have a spotter or something. But if you are, you know,
Water,
yeah. Well, that's the thing, especially in waters. Always make sure that you have somebody who can, you know, watch for you. And even on land, make sure you have a chair. Make sure you got the phone with you. Again,
yeah.
Debbie's been doing this for a little while, so she knows what she's doing. She's, you know,
And,
planned ahead.
and like even demonstrating here, I'm unsteady because I don't have the water pushing at me from all directions to keep me upright and lifting foot makes me think, oh my God, it's all on one foot. That's where it is.
Mhm.
And
You are
yeah,
more, again, you're experienced, and you know, it's like that makes for a big difference, I think. And like, no, yeah, but it's also hot where you are. And fortunately, with your swimsuit, you know, it's like you're a little cooler. That's the other thing is make sure you control your body temperature. Make sure, like, wearing a swimsuit's smart if you don't have aerobic stuff, if you're on land, and have water on hand. Make sure you hydrate, you know, or, you know,
at the poolside because you still need to drink even if you're in the water.
yep, you can't drink the pool water. Yuck. I can't, I don't even want to discuss why that's kind of gross, but
Yeah,
it is
it
kind of,
kills everything else.
yeah, it's like, despite what they tell you, it does not turn green or yellow if somebody pees in it, but if it smells strongly, maybe.
One other water exercise, and I'm sorry, I'm jumping back.
No, please do.
We use frisbees a lot, and I don't have frisbees, but I've had toddler children in the past 20 years, so I've got plates, and they've got a little lip on them, which a frisbee does, and that provides drag through the water. But using frisbees, hold one in each hand with the lip, push the water, and that strength. Um, we also, and it's hard to show up out of because they fall, but we'll push the water up, slip them down, push them up, push them down, and that works a lot because it's hard. So we use a lot of toys in water. We use frisbees, kickboards, noodles. We've got in the same frame of mind as the noodles, we've got dumbbells that have foam circles on the end that we use like the noodle and push out, push in, push down, push up. We use them to rotate and twist. It's hard with 30 people in the pool because we're whacking each other. And we've got single dumbbells, barbells, just a hand with two circles on each end.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll push those down, out, down, out.
Okay,
And
so it's like dumbbells. Like,
yeah, while we're doing the arm exercises, we're also what does she call it? Oh, cross country ski. And I can't like this, I can kind of one leg out, one leg,
okay.
and that's a decent balance activity because you're not lifting too far up off the bottom of the water. And I've got water shoes, which I do recommend because jumping on the concrete pool can wear your feet out.
Yeah.
So I've got numerous pairs of water shoes because one will get a hole in them or whatever. They're always good to have on hand. But that kind of cushions the jumping on the pool bottom. So we do a lot of the cross country, stretching, kicking.
You can get cheap tennis shoes, like really cheap, like canvas tennis shoes.
Yeah, the one paint on and make cool as teenagers.
Yeah, like the really cheap, the like $10 tennis shoes made of canvas and like, you know, just for being on the pool to protect your feet and stuff, especially if it's got a concrete liner. Some pools have those concrete liners that are, you don't wear, I wouldn't recommend wearing those kind for plastic or for like the vinyl liners, but for concrete, if it's got that hard concrete liner, tennis shoes, you know, are those cheap tennis shoes help. Water shoes are good, but they're more expensive. They're good for all kinds of the bottoms. Um, I generally don't wear because I have a prosthesis on my right leg, but it's modified for water. So, but you know, that helps too. But you know, if you have a prosthesis, but you know, it's like, um, so that now would you say it's helped you with walking on land, you know, with you know, doing these exercises has helped improve your mobility?
Yes,
I more than just the exercise, that it's helped you with your balance and walking.
I started water exercise in my Colorado hospital after my traumatic brain injury at age 16. I think my accident was in July.
Mhm.
I can remember, I don't know if I was before this, but I can remember in October, I was doing water therapy, I think twice a week. They had a different facility for the hospital rehab, but
Mhm.
they would take us back to the main hospital to swim in their pool. And I did that 2 days a week. And it was as much physical therapy as it was cognitive for me
Mhm.
because I was normal in the water. You know, I could do it. It was different, and that gave me the cognitive confidence that, hey, this is possible.
Yes. I mean, you know, it's like when I see you walk, you look, you know, your gait looks pretty good. I mean, I noticed that you have a little bit of balance, but you know, I could see that when you move back and forth, when you walk
Yeah,
around, like looks normal. And how do you find day to day? Do you find that that helps your, you know?
I'm, I have, I don't think I'm getting better every day,
Mm,
but at this point in my life,
right.
rehab, years past my accidents,
Yes.
I'm getting worse, which anyone in middle age, as we sit more,
Right.
as
You
we
do tend to get worse. So the one of the advantages of doing what you're doing is it holds you where you are, which is another advantage. Now, of
yeah,
course, like, and that's the important thing to keep in mind too, is like to prevent decline as well. But in the early years afterwards, after your initial injury, you know, you will improve. And you still, part of improvement is remembering that it isn't big jumps after, you know, after like 10 years, 15 years. It's little incremental improvements and things that may not jump out of you. But if you look at yourself over the past 10 years, it's like, I am doing better. You know, it's like my balance is better. I'm not as likely to trip and fall on my butt or whatever. I mean, you know, if
like I hear my exercise teachers and I keep your back straight, shoulders, hips over shoulders,
mm,
chin, don't pull. I hear my instructors
right,
in now as I'm walking down the street
mm-hmm.
and having that influence. You know,
Like when you were walking just a minute ago, it's like I noticed that you move a lot more, you move smoothly, you know, or more. That is an important.
doing steps and as with any balance impaired person, I prefer to do them sideways. If I
Mhm.
if I don't have well, even sometimes if I've got the handrail, but if I've got a handrail or don't, I turn my feet sideways and
Mhm.
side down because then I'm not forward flexed and fearful of falling forward.
Yeah, I tend to lean on and hold on to a wall or something. I use my cane. I still need, you know, my cane for like just because my balance is still messed up, even though I'm using, you know, like a pool and I do exercise, but it's still just especially uneven ground. Plus, I'm also missing my right leg. So
Yeah.
as an amputee, that's always a thing. So, but you know,
Hard things I dealt with right at first, because my hospital roommate was 1 year younger than me,
mhm,
and in rehab is few and far between. So I loved having someone my age.
right.
Injury was a lot less severe.
Mhm,
Compared myself to her, and that was wrong,
right.
because no two head injuries are the same.
Nope.
Where you're injured, what it affects.
Mm-mm.
Mentally, I think I was better than her. So I think her stubbornness held her back from joking it off, laughing it off, bouncing
Right.
back.
And each profile, as you just pointed out, they're unique. Your physical disabilities are different from mental and other things. And oftentimes it's the cognitive disabilities and social that are far worse. Having social and cognitive problems are way worse. And like you do very well. You know, it's like, yes, it's obvious you have some neuro impairment, but you know what? You do really well despite all that. You're bright and you're mobile, but yeah, I mean, you have some problems. So what? You do pretty darn well. You know, all of us with brain injuries have our share of cognitive and physical problems. So be it. You know, it's just one of those things. And for me, it's like something you learn to adapt to. And this is one of the ways for us to do things at home to help improve our situation.
Yeah,
And,
because I had a big issue with being different,
mm,
but in the water, I'm the same. You know, it felt great because I could do what I wasn't as good as Olympic swimmers. And, you know, it took me, I still swallowed a lot of water and choked.
yeah,
I'm better about that. They've repaired my trach scarring and cleaned me up quite a bit. And that has made a world of difference. So I just a few of the people on our site having the belly button dimple for
mm,
your if that causes you coughing, choking issues, mention it to your doctor. And if it's that much of an issue, ask, can we get that cleaned up? They
mm,
can't. It didn't give me any new scars, but I think he went down my esophagus,
right, to fix the adhesions.
and healing it I'm so much better now. And I'm louder. I can yell before I can whisper.
Mm,
So
all
there's
right.
always you.
All right. So we have to unfortunately say goodbye. Look forward to our next one of these because these are very helpful, I think, and very engaging and fun. So we're going to say bye and say bye and
Get wet. We'll go get in a pool.
absolutely. And see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.